Hello, it's Tuesday night at 6:30, so it's time again for KDL's What We're Reading. I'm very excited to have another fantastic local author with me tonight. I have Dr. Nkechy Ezeh with me tonight. She is the author of Child of an Elephant. And this is what I am reading right now. And I have to say, Dr. Nkechy, so impressed with everything.
Oh, thank you so much.
Can
That
you
means a
tell
lot
me?
to me.
Yay! Can you tell me? I'll start with the title. What does it mean to you to be the child of an elephant?
Wow, it means everything to me. First of all, the title Nwaenyi is a Nigerian word meaning child of an elephant. So you are correct. Child Nwaenyi, child of an
Nwaenyi.
Nwaenyi. Yeah, so NWA is a child. Nwa.
Wow.
Enyi is the elephant. So it's child of an elephant. That means a lot to me, but it's something that I've come to kind of embrace and try to live it out. Growing up, my my paternal grandma called my father Nwaenyi. We heard it Nwaenyi, Nwaenyi, but I never really asked Nwaenyi, with just like any other animal. Why not the tiger? Why not this Nwaenyi? And my father embraced it and lived it out. Later on, my dad started calling us Nwaenyi, and it just stuck. We took it on. I took it on. I loved it. I just loved the way he would say it. Even if we were doing something wrong, my dad will always put Nwaenyi in it. I can't believe that Nwaenyi is doing this. So think about just a precious nickname that your father gives you, but he uses it all the time, regardless of whether you're being bad or you're being good. So the title Nwaenyi means a lot to me because it's almost like carrying on my dad's legacy, but it's also the name that my father gave me. And it's stuck, and I'm trying to live it out and by deed and everything I do to act like I am a child of an elephant.
And what characteristics does an elephant have? What's behind that nickname?
An elephant has a presence. When you see an elephant stands there, has a presence, it's unshakable. When you believe in something, when you're doing something, that's how my dad explained it to you. You need to stand in it. My dad also, earlier on, when I came to America, I was struggling, trying to figure out my path, trying to do my dad. I remember my dad saying, it doesn't matter which path you take, just take it and stand on it and make your own footprint. So I always picture that. So lately, maybe earlier on in my career when I was struggling, or if I'm scared of something, if I'm going to do a presentation and I'm not fully confident, I will literally look at myself in the mirror and I give myself, Nwaenyi, you are Nwaenyi, of course, go do it. And I feel myself walking elegantly, just pounding it like, you know what? I own my space. I own my truth. I own who I am. And I'm going to show up with that kind of confidence. So the confidence of an elephant, the majesticness of it, if it's a word, I'm going to use it right now, but also the presence that when you have it, you have that presence that is unshakable, and it's also you going to live out your life and not be so much afraid about it. Another thing my dad did when we were growing up is that if you made a mistake, he would say, no shaking. It's almost like snap out of it, shake it out, then it's almost like elephant will do like this, a turn. We just shake it out, no shaking, and we do that. So I use it as one of those affirmation that my dad poured in me, and it just stayed on.
What a remarkable gift to give a child. And
Yes.
reading your book, you talk about how you gave the same gift to your children. Can you tell me about that a bit?
Yeah, so as I was mentioning earlier on, I grew up with nickname. Nwaenyi is just one of my nickname. My dad had like 5 nicknames, and it's not anything so extraordinary. I remember my dad in the book. I talk about my dad gave me Cheke. I don't know where Cheke came from, but one day I remember asking him, "What is Cheke?" Cheke, and he said, "You're just unique. You just that." And I said, oh, okay. So he will see me and he will say, Checker, and I will say, Checker. It became almost like a game. If he gives you the nickname, you say. So in case of Nwaenyi, child of an elephant, he will say, Nwaenyi, child of elephant. And I'll say, Papa Nwaenyi, father of the child of an elephant. And he will just fill himself up. He's so proud. So I grew up with a lot of affirmation, a lot of nicknames. And it doesn't really matter how bad I was, my dad would still give me a nickname.
One of them was best friend, wasn't it?
Yeah, best friend. And for studying a child development, I now realize why daddy was doing that. We have, as parents, we have to be careful changing the tone or calling our children bad name because they misbehave. You see, if I misbehave, I'm still your child. I just made a mistake. So my dad would say, for my best friend to do something like this, that really hurts my feeling. And he will give us a hug and something like that. So it's very, very important that I poured that same thing to my children because that's what I knew. I grew up being loved, being called all kinds of good nickname that made me to strive to do more, to be better. And when I do my work with the parents, I always caution parents to be careful of the nickname you give your children. Make sure that it's a nickname that makes them look up. Expect to be good, to be doing good things, not giving them back bad nicknames and all those kind of things. So my children, I will give them names. If it's my daughter, I will say mommy, my mom, my mother. There's nothing so daring like calling a girl child mama, my mom, my mother. Anytime you put an M at the end of a word in Nigeria, it's more really personalizing it, my mother and all that. And all of them are my very own. And it stuck because I told them when they were young, you are all I have in America. So you have to make us proud. You have to make yourself proud. You have to make grandpa and grandma proud. And I put so much on these children's shoulder. I hope they will forgive me. I think they have forgiven me. But yes, I paid it forward by giving them their own nickname, each one of them, or I will abbreviate their name. My one daughter's name is Onyinyi. I call her OY. The other one is Nkechy. We say K, well, she picked up that one, K. Or Nikki is Nick. We just got to give them that name, but my very own stake, because every time I see them, they are truly my very own. So I wanted to give them something that when they get out there, your behavior reflects on you, and it reflects on me, and it reflects on our community. So you have to be very careful how you are behaving. Now, I'm not saying they're perfect or that they won't make mistake and all that, but nickname was very important to us growing up.
Yeah, and you certainly have every reason to be proud of them. From what I was reading in your book, you have a lawyer and a head of HR in a Fortune 50 company, and your son was a football player for U of M. And
yes, go blue.
Go blue. And I don't want to leave any of them out, but I mean, they all, not only that, but it seems like you've given them all that feeling that they are worthy. And yeah, I mean, that is amazing to me. And you're helping the community with your project ELNC. Can you tell me what that stands for?
Yes, ELNC stands for Early Learning Neighborhood Collaborative. So it's a collaborative of community-based organizations, or what we call institutions of trust. These organizations have been in the neighborhood for a long time. Collectively, I believe it's over 400 years that we have all these partners. They are the ones to receive the children for before and after school program. They're the one doing parenting education. They're the one doing food pantry. They're the one really holding their neighborhoods together. So in 2009, when Dr. Bernard Taylor said, hey, 83% of the children coming to Grand Rapids in our city schools were not ready for kindergarten. That was a watershed moment that really got everybody saying, what is going on? When children are not ready for kindergarten, they're not ready for life. So this collaborative, I convened them and we worked together to really think about how do we begin to solve that problem. The beauty of ELNC is that each one of the organization maintained their 501(c) status. They have a work, they have other things that they are doing, but when we come together, we are talking about early childhood education and all that. So the goal of ELNC is to make sure that we are providing quality early learning opportunity to those vulnerable children in our neighborhood. It's all about access, making sure that these low-income children have access to quality early childhood education that will get them ready for kindergarten. So I am the founder and the CEO, and in my role, I make sure that we have enough funding to do the work, to be able to, ELNC being an intermediary, we don't provide the services directly, but we secure funding to give to our partners to do the job, and then we provide technical assistance. So it's really our partners that are doing the heavy lifting in their neighborhood, making sure that the children have a quality early childhood education and other opportunity, and also working with the parents, because parents are very dear to me, because ELNC, we use two-generation approach. In other words, we're paying attention to the children, teaching them to be ready for kindergarten, but we're also helping the parents to take the rightful position in the, because they are the first teacher. Everything else we're doing is really helping the parents. So we work with the parents through our family coaches who do amazing job to make sure that they have their basic needs are met. Because, we all know that if you're a parent and the basic needs are not met, forget about reading to them, forget about going on a walk and exploring, because as a parent, all you are thinking about, how am I going to provide food, shelter, transportation, and all those kind of things. So ELNC is very, very dear to me. So in ELNC completes my other part of my brain. I tell people, during the daytime, or the other hat I wear is I'm a professor for early childhood education at Aquinas College. That's the theory where you are teaching students about child development principles. This is what it looks like and all that. ELNC to me is the practical side. So, some of our students, in addition to going to other places for their practicum, they also come to ELNC, and some of them come to ELNC centers to learn about child development principles, to see it in action. So being able to have ELNC be a partner to Aquinas College, I think I'm the most luckiest person in this world that I can go to Aquinas College, that beautiful campus, work with amazing students, and exploring that, thinking about children, think about child development principle. What is it supposed to look like? And then send them out to the world, including ELNC as part of that world, for them to see what it looks like in real life. Because one thing is for theorists to say, this is what children are supposed to be doing and all that. And then you go in the real world, but they're not doing that. How do you navigate that? So that's what ELNC does. And I'm so fortunate to be a part of ELNC and what we have been doing. Our team are just amazing bunch of people that will never take no for an answer. And we treat these children like that. They are our own children.
Oh, and you say in the book that that's really a calling that you have.
Yes. It took me some time, but I realized, because growing up, Penny, believe it or not, I didn't even like children. I felt like they're very slimy. They're very, very new. Their skin is soft, and their head, you could see pound. It was like, oh my Lord, how do you even hold this child without hurting the child and all that? When I came to this country, I had my own. I love my children, and I love all children. But ELNC children, the vulnerable children, the more vulnerable, the more I love them, because I can be a voice for them. And when it clicked, I realized that's my purpose. That's what God puts me on this earth. That's why my dad called me Nwaenyi and asked me. And sometimes he dared me to do things that I wasn't thinking about. And I think about him telling me to create my own path. Early childhood education wasn't my path. but he encouraged me to not only create it, but embrace that part. And so when I fell in love with the children, vulnerable children, I promised that I'm going to make it my life's mission, and I'm enjoying it. So I have just realized, not just, but I've realized that that is my calling, that is my purpose on this earth, and that's what I'm going to keep doing.
Okay, you might be the first author to make me cry on my
Oh,
show.
don't cry, don't cry.
That was so moving. Thank you so much. And I want to also bring up that you are going to be part of the festival in Grand Rapids, the Discovering Africa.
Yes.
And that's on
Sunday, August 15th. We are going to be a part of A Glimpse of Africa. It's a festival that Frida K, amazing woman, she developed that, and thank goodness for that, because then it get to show Grand Rapidians and West Michigan really about African culture, the authentic African culture. One thing I told my kids too that is very relevant here. I remember telling my children, you have Nigerian name. I want you to love it. I want you to respect it. I want you to know it. I want you to be able to say it. And I remember one of my daughters saying, well, what if I make a mistake? I say, you know what? You are the resident author of your name. So however you say it and it makes you feel good, don't worry about it. That's your name, but don't let anybody else correct your name for you. The same thing that I think A Glimpse of Africa is trying to do with this festival, letting people see the authenticity of Africa, letting us be the one to tell our own story. And Frida has been doing it now for what? I think 3 years. Well, she didn't do it last year because of COVID. So KDL has partnered with Frida to showcase local African author. Penny, that is unheard of. Oh my Lord, I was jumping up and down when I heard that, because the bookmobile, KDL has a wonderful bookmobile. It's going to be there, and guess what? Our book is going to grace that, and we get to take turns. Yes, sharing our story. I am so proud of KDL. I am so proud of Grand Rapids, because this is unheard of in the 80s and 90s and all that. So things are changing so that we can, we are getting smaller and smaller now globally, but at least we get to see all these amazing cultures represented so we can see it. I'm hoping that after that, people will not think that Africa is a country anymore. We are a continent, and it's so powerful. Yes.
A lot to learn. Well, I am so grateful that you were here tonight on my show, and I'm grateful that we're partnering with you. Yeah. And I'm very grateful that Kent District Library System is so committed to having books be both windows into other cultures and mirrors to all the kids who are coming into our library, not just some. So thank you, and thank you for letting us show your book, and thank you for joining us in The Glimpse of Africa next month. I hope I see you there, Nkechy.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there.
Yeah. Well, thank you, and I'll see everyone else next week on Tuesday for another What We're Reading. In the meantime, be sure to pick up this book. Nkechy, where can they buy it if they want their own copy? Is it on Amazon?
It's on Amazon. If you want a signed copy, you can email me, and I'll make sure you get a signed copy. But it's on Amazon, and you can check it out and get it and support me. You can do a book club with it. You can buy it and donate it to high school or any group that are out there. Thank you so much for your support.
Yeah, and if they want to support ELNC, which is such a worthy cause, how can they do that?
You can go to elncgr.org and follow us. We, like our social media, get more information. There is a donate button on our website. We do amazing work for children 0 to 5 in here, Grand Rapids, Michigan. We are place-based, we are culturally competent, and of course, we use 2-generation approach because we believe that parents' voice must be heard and supported.
Wonderful. And that's, again, ELNC, the Early Learning Neighborhood Collaborative of Grand Rapids. Thank you very much again.
Thank you so much, Penny. I appreciate this. Thank you so much. God bless you.
God bless you.